and welcome to the Autocar Show. We're here in Delhi on a foggy morning at the 11th Auto Expo.
Obviously, we are at Pragati Maidan because that's where everybody heads to if you're an auto nutter, if you're any which way related to automobiles, because this is where you get your dose for the next 2 years of
Absolutely.
automobiles.
I'm excited to be here because this is 2 years worth of information, what's going to happen in the auto industry, what's coming up, lots of eye candy, and there's so much to see. That's just it. India's automotive industry is now, I feel, at a global level. We have products that are made here that
Exported
are
to the
for
world.
global markets. We have products that are launched globally, but at the same time and simultaneously in India. So we've really reached.
We're going to see a couple of debuts here as well, right?
Absolutely. Now, unfortunately, something that is not quite global yet is our Indian Auto Expo. And if you look at what we have here,
It's really quite a shame because the world is looking at India through the Auto Expo, and what we are seeing here today on the first day is not very nice. It's messy, things are not
have
ready.
definitely not put our best foot forward. In fact, I'm scared to put any foot forward anywhere because you have filth, undone roads, and I don't know what not lying all over the place over here.
But let's put that aside because that's part of it. Let's hope it improves.
And let's hope everybody keeps their eyes in the halls where all the action really is, where all the cars are going to be displayed. And the first launch of the day is set to be at Maruti, so I think we need to head right off there.
We've got lots of launches happening, but we're going to be bringing you all the cars that are the showstoppers. And like Renuka said, we'll start off with Maruti.
At Maruti Suzuki was the Ertiga MPV. With space for 7, this people mover from Maruti seems to have it all. The Ertiga looks pretty stylish, carrying the family look, especially the front that resembles the Ritz hatchback. The peeled-back headlights remind us of the new Swift. The front bumper styling is quite sporty with a large air inlet and enclosures for the fog lights. But what's it like on the inside?
Now the middle row of seats can be slid back and forth. They're on rails, easy to do that. The backrest angle can be adjusted, and that helps control the amount of space you have for the third row of seats. This is set to a middle setting right now, which gives you decent amount of legroom at the back and in the middle row of seats. If you move it all the way to the back, there's very little legroom here in the third row, and if you move it all the way to the front, there's very little legroom for the middle row passengers. And with the third row of seats in place, boot space is practically non-existent.
With the Ertiga comes a new member of the K-Series engines. It's a 1.4-litre VVT with 95 bhp of power. The 90 bhp 1.3 multi-jet engine will also make its way into the Ertiga. This MPV is expected to be launched in March, and you can expect a 7 to 9 lakh rupee price bracket. Maruti also had some muscle at their stall.
Well, you know, compact SUVs are getting a hat tip because Maruti now have a concept here. This is the XA Alpha. It is, well, very clearly a very nice rugged SUV, and it's under 4 meters.
This sub 4 meter SUV is still a design study, but we think it will roll out in 2013. Now, a segment that had got a lot of people's attention was that of the compact SUV. The compact SUV segment seemed to be on everybody's list, and Ford created a big buzz with their EcoSport.
One of the main highlights for us here at the Auto Expo is right behind me, the Ford EcoSport. It was launched just before the Auto Expo, but you see it here. Now what you see is concept, but the exteriors are production ready. It's going to come with a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbo boost engine. So that means you'll get the performance of a 1.6-litre, but the economy of a 1-litre engine. So economy, compact dimensions, high ground clearance, apt for the Indian market, don't you think? And this is a segment we feel one should watch.
Believe it or not, the EcoSport is actually built around the same platform as the new Fiesta Saloon. But you can't mistake the EcoSport for anything other than an SUV. The upright stance, the high bonnet, the generous ground clearance, and that very aggressive front make you think that it's off-roader. It's fresh, boldly designed, and well proportioned all at the same time. Despite this SUV look, the EcoSport is really no off-roader. It will only be available in front-wheel drive. Though the exterior is what you will actually see on the road, Ford say this is still concept and you can expect it in the last quarter of 2012. We think it will come around the 8 or 9 lakh rupee mark. Meanwhile, the car that really kick-started the compact SUV segment in India, the Premier Rio, is now ready to tackle the big cities. A few design tweaks give the Rio a whole load of appeal. And on the inside, it gets beige color fabric, a more cheery feel and better quality interiors. There's also a new 1.2-litre petrol engine under the hood that complies with BS4 norms. This will let the Rio attract the metros with gusto.
But the big news is that Premier is already in talks with Fiat and they plan on using its very popular 1.3 multi-jet diesel engine in the Rio with the big skew in the Indian market towards diesel. This is the engine that will make a lot of sense. It uses the fixed geometry turbo. It will churn out 75 bhp of power. We're all familiar with that engine and it is fun to drive. You can expect that by mid-year.
A hotly anticipated budget SUV is the Renault Duster. This SUV has a simple yet smart feel. The big air dam in front with the squared-off wheel arches give it a lot of muscle.
Now the Duster is of course based on the Logan platform, so it shares a lot of common bits under the skin on the surface. Of course, nothing like it. On the inside too, there were a lot of things that were in common with the Logan, which made it feel a little down market. And what's confirmed that there are going to be changes on the inside is the fact that the windows are all blacked out now on the Duster. Renault is upgrading the interiors for a more plush upmarket feel in terms of materials design. So this Duster, when it is launched, will feel richer, more upmarket than what we've driven in the Europe. I can tell you from the inside, we've done a long trip from Geneva all the way to Paris. It's really comfortable, really nice and spacious.
With the 1.5 K9K motor from the Fluence that has 110 bhp on tap, this motor will have enough punch for the city and the highway. In India, only the two-wheel drive will go on sale at an expected price tag of Rs 8 lakh and will be in Renault dealerships from the second half of 2012. The price tag makes the Duster a pretty interesting proposition. Another car that caught our eye at the Renault stall was the Pulse. Its similarity to the Micra is but obvious, but it's now Renault's first hatchback for India. The Pulse is basically a more manly Nissan Micra. Renault announced the prices and the Pulse will start at 5.77 lakh and go to 6.25 lakh ex-showroom Delhi. This means it's the Pulse and Micra head-on. Joining in with renewed zest in the big hatchback action will be General Motors.
So what piqued my interest here at the GM stall is the Sail hatchback over here. We expect it to be on the roads in April this year. This will replace the Yuva and it comes with the 1.2-litre petrol engine from the Beat and the 1.3-litre Fiat Multijet as the diesel. You'll have both petrol and diesel at launch is what GM say. And they want to make it feature-rich to make it really competitive in this segment. Intelligent packaging and space seem to be the key ingredients of this car. And of course, you can expect some really rocking pricing from GM too.
The Sail is based on the Opel Corsa platform that was in India. However, a thorough redesign by GM and their Chinese partner SAIC gives the Sail a very striking and modern look. The Sail saloon version will come a year later. Stirring up a storm was another small car launch.
So another big launch here at the Auto Expo is BMW-owned brand Mini. Now we brought you the test drive earlier on the Auto Car Show, but the cars are finally going to be out on the Indian roads. You can expect the Cooper hatch to start around the 25 lakh rupee mark and it goes just above 30 lakh rupees for the Countryman. The Countryman is only going to be available in the top-end version in the Indian market with the sports package engine and that should be a whole lot fun to drive.
The retro design of the Mini is beautifully executed and has made it a style icon world over with a huge appeal. This car is for the passionate. Being a Mini owner is not really about the price tag, but about being a part of a cult. When it comes to small cars, a lot of hopes were riding on Bajaj's ULC project. But when the final product, the RE60, was unveiled, it became clear that the RE60 was more of a commercial vehicle rather than a passenger car. The short wheelbase, upright glass house and skinny wheels gave the RE60 an almost comical stance. However, closer look reveals a smart urban face with headlights that have a Renault touch to their design. It has a 200cc fuel-injected 4-stroke liquid-cooled engine that's housed at the rear.
You could criticize the RE60 for not being too car-like, but that would be a bit unfair because after all Bajaj intend for this to be a replacement for the auto rickshaw, and in that sense it would make a great one. And as a four-wheeler, it's definitely setting new trends. I mean, which car gives you 35 kilometers per litre on a pure gasoline engine and of course emits only 60 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometer? That's great. And Bajaj will of course be selling this through the RE dealerships a little later this year, and prices should start under 1 lakh rupees for the base variant.
Meanwhile, at the Tata stall was the new Safari Storm. Tata's big SUV has been redesigned for a bit of modernity. It now gets a clamshell hood, new headlamps, and looks much more imposing than before.
So a lot of changes in the new Safari, which is now called the Storm. The Merlin was just the name they were using as a code name. It looks a lot more upmarket. There is an effort to make it look much richer, much higher price, because there's a lot of competition in this segment. And they've done a pretty good job, but I still feel like finishing touches, plastics could have been a whole load better. Central console area, even where the handbrake area is very cheap looking plastic, and this is where I think the Tatas really lack. Now you can expect this to go on sale in 3 to 4 months. You can expect it to be priced a shade above the current Safari. But it's not only this, there's a lot of changes under the skin. It's a whole new platform. In fact, it's based on a shortened version of the Aria platform. So you can expect this to be more refined, ride and handling to be improved as well.
Tata may have wanted to create a storm, but the SUV that was stirring one up was really the Q3. Fluid design accentuated by character lines makes the Audi Q3 quite a stunner. It doesn't look as small as its compact 4.4 meter size. It's based on the Volkswagen Tiguan platform and offers up the Quattro system, which makes the Q3 quite exciting.
Audi's Q3 is all set to launch in the Indian market in mid-2012 and heat up the action in the compact luxury SUV segment. Now it's going to be priced bang against the BMW X1, and you can expect it to be packed with a lot more of goodies. It comes armed with a 2-litre TFSI petrol engine and a 2-litre turbo diesel engine. Packed with technology and a capable machine, you can expect it to throw a spanner in the works for the BMW X1.
Now don't go away, because right after this break we have some bigger cars, hotter cars.